Okay, where am I? Why isn't it starting? There it is. Hey, everyone. Who do we have here? Hey. How's everyone doing tonight? Hello, Mrs. Vieira, Lori Myers, police wife, sweet home Amanda. I love that name. Shazzy, Frank, Clint Adams, Martha, Shermere, Enough is Enough, Michelle, Julie, Yellow Submarine. Chat wouldn't start. Oh, okay. Maybe I kind of jump started. I don't know. I'm surprised I actually was able to schedule like a members only one there for a while, but then no one was in here, so I'm like, I don't know. I guess I can make it public then. Hey, chicken cakes, Camilla, bibbidi bobbidi boo, Eileen, Aussie, Lisa, Sunny Dance, Rarely Care, Not Interested, Barbara, Pink Flamingo, Julie. Awesome. Hey, just Britt. Spicy pizza. Just call me Christy? Okay. Claire, I changed it to public because, it wouldn't let you in as members only? Oh, okay. I don't know. I wonder why that is. I think I set it up properly or correctly. I don't know. I'll look it up on YouTube, see if there's something just to make sure I'm doing it right. Hey, Tina. Karma Kath, Carolyn. Dominus. Okay, yeah, so just my new video. It's basically just like I had a bunch of clips or whatever just sitting around for like months, and I just threw them all together. Well, there are a couple new ones, but for the most part, it was just a bunch of older ones, like Katie, a newer one from one of Kay's videos, and then just some comparisons with Katie's videos about comparing how she discussed the whole Kanye and Kim situation like months ago and then today or this like recently. Thank you, Lori. Actually, I bought new eyeshadow. So, and yeah, I've been realizing that I need to start covering or adding more content or covering just different people or whatever. And I think I found like a lot of people I can kind of do. So, hopefully I'll have new videos and stuff, new content soon. Thank you, Just Brett. Hey, Eileen. Thank you, Eileen. Frank. Aussie girl. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started then. What are we doing? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and play it. Just if you can't hear it, let me know. Just like the first 10-15 seconds there is no sound, but when you see people talking, then there should be sound. But I think you're gonna hear sound because I think I did it right.
in the drive-in movie theater.
How you doing?
Hi, is that better?
Oh my God, Katie, that is so much better. Yeah, that's great. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Like all the crazy birth stuff.
Yeah.
And then
the crazy birth stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, like the ladies that are like, I don't need help with anything.
Horrible.
Did I miss a joke here somewhere? Why are you laughing?
These platforms are getting so much better about policing that kind of information.
Yeah.
Facebook put a huge crackdown due to so many outlets like me and NBC and, you know, Hemet and all of these media outlets basically like screaming at these platforms saying, why are you allowing these on your platform? When that happened, unfortunately, the algorithm kicked me in the butt because even if you did things that were debunking it, they would flag you.
And I know that it was the debunking that got me flagged. I mean, it wasn't my stellar information or anything.
Which is insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. But I had always had this, you know, I feel like Dale, our former editor, he would always say, like, you are kind of like a salad, like a mixed salad. Like you don't really have the
fact that a writer and an editor can't come up with any words, it's almost like the story is bullshit.
I don't even know, like you're not one thing. You don't blog about one thing. You kind of just blog about whatever you want to talk about.
Right. And you do it intelligently.
What the fuck?
I was just looking at some of your older videos and some of your newer videos too. But there are like, you sprinkle in skepticism in there.
You think I was good sprinkling on that skepticism? Where do you catch my sad fishing?
Oh, Erin says that she's been working with the anti-vax movement for 3 years. And
okay, let me translate this. I don't know who this Erin chick is, but when Katie says work with the anti-vax movement, what she's really trying to say is work against the anti-vax movement, because this is the second time now she's gotten this wrong.
Facebook hasn't done anything. Well, I'm not saying that like they've done better at cracking down. Of course, it's still an issue.
Even though that's not what I said. I wonder if I should apologize to this Erin in the chat.
I'm not claiming that it's better. You know what I mean? I'm not claiming that this has somehow disappeared.
Katie, Katie, it's okay. Erin's a liar.
You're a liar.
So I'm going to ask you a loaded question.
Yeah.
Hey, can I just chime in with one thing, Andy? I just want to point out that I used to run into Farrah Abraham a lot at the strip club here in Austin.
Oh, did you?
Oh, I'm acquainted with some of Miss Abrams' work.
Okay, we're gonna have to see 2 hands, sir. 2 hands at all time during the broadcast. Thank you.
Okay, very good, very good.
That sounds like an inappropriate penis reference. You know, I've taken down channels on less than that.
About what's happened to the women on Teen Mom over the years and the way the show has changed since the way it was when it started. Because I remember when it started, you know, it was guilty pleasure television for everybody, but the way these women have sold out over the years, I put it right up there next to when Paul McCartney did that song with Michael Jackson in '83.
That's a fascinating. Yeah, I was thinking actually that it sounds like it went.
You see this? This is me not laughing. I don't have a sense of humor.
I've talked with people who, I mean, you have a great YouTube channel. You have a good amount of subscribers, but I haven't seen as much hate directed at a YouTube channel as I have towards yours, Katie.
I don't know. I don't think that's true. I think a lot of YouTubers have a lot of hate. I mean, look at what's going on. It happens to every canceling and I think a lot of YouTubers have a lot of hate. I mean, look at what's going on. It happens to every canceling And trolling happens to all YouTubers.
Oh, one summer I was interning at the Chicago Tribune, actually, in Chicago, when I lived up there. And it was such a fascinating experience, just seeing how a major newspaper operates like that. Because I remember one of our, I'd say, like, kind of, he wasn't a beloved old columnist or anything like that. He was kind of a new, kind of younger guy. He was from Kansas, and nobody really knew his background. And he kind of had this fling with another reporter, a woman in the office, and that it was interesting to see the way they worked around story angles. But the thing was, like, anytime there was some big crime event in downtown Chicago, the guy would go missing, and we had no idea where he was. And then somehow, whatever bank robbery or shooting that was happening downtown, Superman would show up and save the day. And then when we would get back to the office, this reporter would show back up, and we'd go, "Hey, where the hell were you? You're our beat reporter on crime, and Superman comes down here to save everybody, and you're nowhere to be found. But here you are." I don't know. This is all very fishy.
I already told you, no sense of humor.
Jesse Bear, we don't care for name calling here, ma'am. Thank you. We don't care for that kind of talk.
Very good. Thanks for everyone for watching and for commenting.
Jesse is my moderator and one of my closest friends.
Is she?
Well,
that's fantastic.
We don't welcome that kind of attitude around here. Katie, it was so nice to meet you. And
I think there might be some mom issues, not to be weird, but
yeah. In the case of Will, I've said this before.
Josh,
I really think that it's coming from a place of hating his mother. I really do. I'm not trying to be mean or nasty or anything.
I actually was wondering that.
I really do, because listen, guys, I have a theory. A man that will allow himself to hurt a woman, even verbally, has mother issues. It has to be that way.
Oh yeah,
because if you don't have those issues, then your natural instinct is to protect women, right? I don't want to sound sexist. It's not.
No, you're right. You're absolutely
that
right.
Women need protection or anything. Women can fend for themselves, but I think as a man, you kind of have that in you to protect your mom, your sister, your grandma, So yeah, it's very strange.
That's what a normal good man with a good relationship with his mother would feel, like, protective of his. And that's what sexist is all. I completely
and it extends to all females, kind of, right?
Exactly, because I am the type of person who thinks that this should extend to all females. All females should be protected. All females should be respected, revered, put on a pedestal, loved, because that's the kind of man I am.
I don't know. Yeah, it's just so in the case of Will, but in the case of Josh, for example, he comes across as a gossipy, angry, mean woman.
At least until I get the chance to use the female gender as an insult to another man. I guess the kind of man I am, after all, is a misogynist.
On their properties. So they own this massive home in California, and then Kanye has this humongous ranch.
Yes, I can attest that it is, in fact, called a ranch. Yeah.
Just letting people know that she's doing her best for him and to encourage him to get help. And she could not force him to get help.
I feel like someone needs to start, like, calling out Kimberly and being like, Kimberly, help your husband.
No matter how hard she wanted. They tried. She had doctors flown out there. They tried to put him into like a 5150 hold. That didn't work. He was very resistant to treatment.
It's scary the level of enabling that's happening here. That a wife would be like, yes, honey, go ahead and run for president.
He was very resistant to going to the doctor. He was just very resistant in general to getting help. He, as Kim has said, did not want to have to take medication. He didn't like how it made him feel.
Please stop feeding into his grandiose delusions. Please stop enabling this behavior. She can call the hospital. It doesn't matter if he's compliant. If he's doing this right now and this is how he's acting, he could seriously be held. He could get a hold.
He didn't like how it changed his moods. He felt like it dampened his creativity. And basically being a mom. And I'm guessing she has in some ways felt like a single mom for a while now because he has been in Wyoming away from her. It's sad, to be honest.
It's so sad.
being 7.5, she is grown up and accustomed to her parents being together, while others like Psalm, he's so young, he'll probably never remember his parents being together. Now
I don't know why saying that makes me smile.
His business partner, Mr. McCrae, was causing a lot of issues on Twitter. Mr. McCrae is sort of this bombastic man.
You hear that, Steve? I just think you're so bombastic. Okay, now it's time for member shoutouts. I'd like to thank Trisha Biggs, That Amber Chick, Jessica, Tifa, Sue M, Crystal, Shermar, Selfie Queen Cindy, JJ, Sky Vision, Karma Kid 101, Sleepy Superhero, Shaz Z, Mingo Mish, Camilla, Karen Bluebird, Leah, Carolyn Pierce, Laura Nelson, Gary McLaughlin, Jeanette Stevens, Yellow Submarine, Sarah Loves Donuts, Mary HB, Lil Red Y'all, Sand Shots, Dottie Morgan, Kelly Gentry, Not All Who Wander, Enough is Enough, Chanley Dish, Chicken Cakes, Lady Law, Susan, Crystal, Pink Flamingo, Sissy, Claire S. Bear, Lizzie Stardust, Nohalani, The Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo, Aussie Mum, Jen Gerard, Sensibly Morbid, Angie Dare 1, Poodlerific, Larissa M, T. King, Tina Colry, Rena Roo, and Yoo-Hoo Shoo. Thank you so much for becoming members, and thanks for watching.
Okay, so yeah, it's that. I figured this was a good time to use up like some of the clips that I had kind of just sitting there. Like I say put them off to the side because I knew I'd end up using them. Like they would go great somewhere. But this way I get to use up what I had laying around and hopefully now find some new people to make stuff about, which I did actually find a couple people, I think. So, but awesome. Thank you. Glad you guys like it. I will upload it then after this live stream, and it should be up by tomorrow morning by the time everything's done. But I actually made the thumbnail early this time, so. And Gary McLaughlin, you like how I say your last name perfect. A lot of people don't say it perfect. Thank you, Claire. Yeah, I'm glad you made it, Truffles. Hey, Karen. Is it Tifa, I think? I don't have my glasses on. I don't like to wear them often, I guess. Her momager is a real nightmare. Well, maybe her mom should be covered. I actually like doing the critical K. It's just her streams are so long. I mean, it's real work to sit through her streams and find content. Oh yes, Sweet Home Elamanda, thank you for joining. And I had someone else join too earlier. There it is. Sassy Naz, thank you for joining. I think that was it. Yep. Awesome. Did y'all see Lady? Oh, she did get her dogs back? How's the dog walker? Is he okay? I mean, yeah, she called it a plantation. Can you believe it? Erin has the clip in one of her videos, but I'm not sure which one. It was crazy. I'd have to go through and look because I'm not sure which one either. But yeah, she yeah, that was kind of funny. She was trying to say ranch, and yeah, in a cage she said plantation instead. And I mean, I don't know, I feel like if she lived in the South or something, maybe it can make some sort of sense, because I feel like people in the southern states, they might use the word plantation a little more often because that's where the plantations were. And I'm sure that there's still like a few like plantation, I guess, campuses, whatever, that are open for like tourists or whatever. So I could see that word being used a little bit more there, but not in Minnesota. It's just there's no reason to say it there. Thank you for joining, Spurgey. You will be the dog walker's gonna be okay. Good. Yeah, Tina, Corey, I keep thinking there has to be. See, and it's not even like problem creators necessarily. I mean, even if it's just like an event where um there's a situation happens, whatever, and it's like, I don't know, it's like pop culture or something for the time being. Like, that, I mean, I'd be able to do. It has to be, if I'm going to keep with the translator, it has to be someone just displaying like crazy signs or whatever, being incredibly entitled. But I feel like it can't be too obvious. Otherwise, then what's the point of having a translator if they kind of say it all themselves? So, because I was looking at Twitch for a few streamers, I found a few streamers actually, but a few of them though were just like so over the top and so like blatantly crass and in your face with their entitlement. Like there's no translation needed. Whatever happened to please don't smoke crystal meth? What? I don't know whatever happened to that. I don't know what you're talking about, Gary, but I'm quite curious. Smooth Swarovski crystal balls. I'll become a member just so you have to read it and shout out. One of my colleagues on Facebook, we joke around, and she's a Hanson fan. The I don't know, the Brothers Trio there from back in the 90s. And she's kind of joked around saying that she's going to join and she's going to have her YouTube name be Hanson's biggest fan. I know it is. Illuminancy's not. She hasn't been making any videos lately, has she? Would you ever do anti-vax videos? Well, Miss Salty, what do you mean by do anti-vax videos? Like the videos I was doing before, or like cover anti-vax videos? Because I would probably love to, yeah. A lady found Lady Gaga's. She found him. I don't know. I would have a lot of questions about that. I mean, it's possible, but I mean, she just found him walking around. I don't know. Yes, cover anti-vax. Sure. There's a few videos on here that I did where basically I'm just reading the comments that I found in some of the groups. I have one video where it's like some of the more crazy comments I found through the years, and then another one's where it's more recent comments because it involves the COVID vaccine. I was actually thinking, well, I'm going to hold on to that idea right now, but I do have an idea for them. They said return the dogs, no questions asked. Okay. I would love for you to cover anti-vax videos. Thinking about the videos, there's probably a few I could cover because, I mean, you talk about sense of entitlement. There's a lot there. Already on my channel a week ago. She's sick right now. Oh, I hope she's okay. Yeah, I know. I hadn't seen. Last I knew, she hadn't. She wasn't doing videos or whatever for a while there, but every so often I'd go over to her channel and just see if there's something new. Hey, Jessica. I'm sorry, did I mishear? But did that guy really call you dumb? I don't know. Did someone call me dumb? Oh, in the video, my video, he called me a liar, but he was kidding, because the conversation before that, they were talking about liars or whatever, people who they were talking about like lie detector tests or whatever. I can't remember exactly what it was they were saying, but and he was kind of joking around and everything in that conversation. So, and that's when I had put a comment up in the chat correcting Katie, saying, yeah, Facebook really hasn't removed much of, anti-vax misinformation or whatever. I don't know what you're talking about, because she was claiming that, oh yeah, ever since we spoke out with NBC or whatever, it's all gone. It's like, no, where do you getting this from? So when Katie read my comment, then she kind of corrected and backtracked her statement and say, well, I didn't say that it was all gone. Yeah, there's still some or whatever, and yeah, maybe there's a lot or whatever. And that's when the dude jumped in and said, well, it's okay. Erin's a liar because it was a joke. In fact, if you watch the video, the whole video, the stream there, that dude just did nothing but break her balls the entire time. It was hilarious, actually. Thank you for the super chat, Black Koi Records. Are you worried with the people within your community? I feel the community lost track of the main issue for some reason, and it derails the purpose. I'm not worried. I think any community just goes through a time where people are just kind of, I don't know if we get on each other's nerves or we're just frustrated with everything that we see happening or whatever. But every community, I think, will have like this big like powwow fight or whatever amongst the people in the community, and then like a week or so later, it's like it never happened. I don't know if that's going to be the case here. I think it will be, and I hope it will be. So I'm not that worried about it. And I mean, I think that's kind of how I think people get to know one another in a community, is kind of by fighting and going at each other. I think once people get past that and get on good terms again with one another, I think it kind of just creates a better friendship. Oh, thank you, Diane McCall, for the super chat. This is for your daughter. I missed her birthday night and I had to watch a replay. Tell her happy late birthday. I will. She's sleeping right now, but I will definitely tell her that. Thank you so much. She's going to be thrilled. Yeah, she's 17 now. It's crazy. Yeah, I think you're right, Dominus. I think the community is just frustrated because the lawsuit and everything isn't going as fast or as accurate as people want. I don't think it's falling apart. No, I don't think it's falling apart either. See, the thing is, since we're not attorneys, I don't think that we even really know the extent of what's going on in this lawsuit. And especially because we're not one of the attorneys on the suit, that we're not privileged to anything. So I don't think it's falling apart at all. The thing is, though, is I think a lot of people are looking to this lawsuit to see an adequate amount of karma happen, to see justice done or whatever. I don't think we're going to see that, at least not to the point where I think people will be satisfied. So, I mean, I think that's something maybe everyone, myself included, should just kind of think about and consider. So, when it does come down and we're just like, oh, it's kind of, we feel kind of gypped, then we're better prepared for it. That's all. My daughter turned 10 on Monday, 22nd. Oh, my daughter's her birthday was the 23rd. So happy birthday to your daughter. 10. Oh, wow. Erin, can I ask for clarifications? Are you against vaccinations or against anti-vaxxers? Either way, doesn't change my view of this lawsuit. I'm for vaccinations, but I'm not for vaccinations because they're vaccinations. I'm for vaccinations because that's what the science supports. If by some miracle or whatever tomorrow were to come and the science would show differently, then I would respond adequately. So I'm currently, for vaccinations, and I'm not against anti-vaxxers per se, because I understand how a lot of parents kind of get sucked into this. I mean, I myself was almost one years ago. So I get it. I do. And I get that the whole sense of community that I think a lot of them feel when they become active in these communities. And that's attractive to anyone. So it's more or less, and I don't even care, everyone in this chat right here could just sit here and tell me, I'm not vaccinating my kids. And I wouldn't even think to give you my opinion on it unless asked. It's when people who aren't educated, though, or qualified start sharing misinformation and start trying to educate other people on what to do in these matters that I get bothered by. You're welcome, Miss Salty. If I had a camera here, I would talk more about the issues regarding. Yeah, I don't want to get into too much about the issues in the community because I'm worried that, I mean, some things obviously, yes, but I feel like just some things, though, if they're continued to be talked about, then they're not going to kind of die down. And I think some of it needs to die down. I mean, we were seeing people, I maybe not in the legal sense docs, but definitely in like, I think the moral sense or whatever docs. So for that reason, I think things should calm down a little bit. Diane, I already got the first shot. The first COVID shot. I go for the second one in like 3.5 weeks or something, 3 weeks. And I never ever had any kind of side effects or anything from vaccines. I think once I had a sore arm from the flu shot. That's it. But this one kind of made me feel like shit for a good day and a half. I mean, it's nothing compared to what people are going through with COVID. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's still worth it. But yeah, I mean, if you're going to get the shot, you know, if you have the opportunity to maybe take the day off from work or the next day off from work, you might want to consider it. That's all. And just that's fine. I mean, one thing I do absolutely fully support, and that's not going to change, is I fully support everyone's right to decide for themselves when it comes to all matters of health. So, cool. Oh my God, Katie Joy just compared herself to NBC. Oh, what, you like in a live stream? Yeah, kind of I agree. Yeah. It's really achy. That was my thing. If I get side effects. Can I turn into Superman? I know, wouldn't that be cool? I mean, I don't know. Vaccines get blamed for like everything else under the sun. Why can't they do that? Oh, and that video show. Okay, yep. All right. I thought that might be what you meant. She's the next Barbara Walters. Personal question. Have you had your finger tattoo? I want one. Someone talk. Just this one. I'm not trying to flip you off, but that one. I had it done. Oh, I think I was 16. And I did it during 9th grade lunch period. So it's, I don't know, it's the only tattoo I have, and I kind of wish I didn't have it. Personally, I like the piercings because there's less commitment there. When you get sick of it or you don't want it anymore, you just take it out and like, poof, it's gone. My mom said I get the first one tomorrow. And that was the first question my mom asked, if it hurt afterwards. I only had a really sore arm yeah, that sore arm, that's like no joke though. Like I said before, I think one time I had a sore arm from the flu shot, and there was just like a red bump I had in my arm, and that lingered for like 3 or 4 days before it went away. But from this shot, it was all my neck, my whole arm. I couldn't lift my arm. Oh my God, it was crazy. It was gone though in less than 24 hours, the pain. But see, Stormy, everyone that I know that has gotten their second shot has gotten sicker than hell, but all of them got over it. Yeah, that's what I've been hearing. I read somewhere that most people, they that's after the second shot is when, you know, the side effects, whatever, really hit them, unless they've had COVID before. Then it's after the first shot that it really hits them. Tetanus shots hurt. Yeah, they do. The COVID shot is worse than tetanus. I'll be honest with you. Ice packs help. Yep. Feels like a pistol whip. Yeah, exactly. That's a very good comparison. Yeah, you may, Lizzie. I don't. I kind of wish I had taken it. I ended up going to work the next day and everything, but I kind of part of that day I was like, man, I should have just stayed home. So I think maybe after the second one, I think I'm gonna arrange for it to stay home. I was sick with the first shot, and the second was just. Oh, that's cool, Camilla. Hopefully that's a common reaction for most people, like me included. Severe arm pain. Yep. And Maloney. May I ask your age? You want my age? No, I'm kidding. I'm 46. I just turned 46 in January. Yeah, my daughter, she just turned 17. So, and she's my youngest. So my oldest is 25. Yeah, exactly. Not interested. No matter like what the side effect is or how bad the side effect was for me, there was never 1 second of regret. I mean, if my choice is what I went through, even what I went through times 10 or COVID, then yeah, I'm getting vaccinated. We got fantastic news today. The nursing homes will be opening in the next 2 weeks. My mom-in-law, BFF, I haven't seen any. Oh, that's awesome. She has Alzheimer's, so we lost her this year, but oh, well, that's great. I'm glad that you'll get to see them again soon. Or, oh, your mom-in-law is your BFF. I got it. Okay. I'm glad that you're going to see her again soon. You just turned 48? Awesome, Lori. Happy birthday. My sibling and spouse gets this week. So happy for them. That's awesome. I thought you're in your 30s. Nope. Nope, not in a while. I feel like I'm in my 30s most days. Some days, maybe not, but most days I think I do. They're being very slow in Oregon to even get people vaccinated. It's frustrating for us since we have family. We haven't seen it over here. That sucks. I mean, I hear that that's the case in a lot of states. Even New York State, I'm in New York State, and things here were moving really slow. It was maybe just, I think the past couple of weeks that things just really like sped up and opened up. I hear the rabies shot is heck. Yeah, I hear that too. Yeah. The thing is, though, with that is if you were exposed to rabies and you don't get the shot, then death is pretty much your only outcome. So, yeah, it sucks, but you'll be not dead. Yeah, I was taking it tomorrow. I fear the worst. I wouldn't worry about it without a jelly donut. Like, even the worst reactions I've been hearing or seeing or whatever is like running a low grade fever, maybe even getting up as high as like 101 fever for a few days and really, soreness and achiness, especially the arm, though the arm is going to hurt. I suggest that anyone who gets the shot does not get the shot in the side that they sleep on in bed, because you're not going to be able to sleep on that side. Yeah, pink flamingo. See, that's been my whole thing. Pro-vaccine here. My best friend is a PhD in infectious disease. I trust him over the Facebook anti-vaccine people. I never understood, and I mean, this can be anti-vax or the whole like anti-medical community or science community, even on Facebook. When you're making health decisions on behalf of your kids, I mean, wouldn't you want the very best offering you advice and guidance? I mean, I think my kids deserve the very best. I would think most parents would think that way. I would think what my kids do not deserve is the very inept and inadequate. And since when do we start trusting strangers on social media when it comes to our kids? I mean, we police the shit out of our kids' activity online, right? For their safety. Why are we going to allow strangers online to dictate our health decisions for our kids? That's what has always blown my mind. Yeah. I'm not afraid of this vax because if I heard correct, while it seems rushed, the vax for COVID has been in the works, correct? Right. Maybe wrong. Yes, there was, it wasn't for COVID, but it was for another coronavirus or coronaviruses, I think in general. They actually got to the point where they were going to start human trials, but then the funding dried up. This was like a few years after SARS and everything happened. So when SARS was no longer a threat, like no one cared to, push forward with this vaccine or spend money on it. So, yeah, they got right up into the human trial part when money dried up. And since COVID, the virus that causes COVID is actually a coronavirus, a lot of, I guess you could say, the prep work or whatever was kind of already there. And there had already been years of study and like trials or whatever with RNA vaccines. So a lot of the work was already done. And the only part they can really speed up with these trials and everything is like the bureaucracy of it, the paperwork or whatever. Like they can't speed up the trials because these things take time. You can't know, you're not going to know how something affects anyone without giving it time. So, I mean, you can't, unless you can speed up time, you can't speed up that part of it. Yeah, Celine, that sounds awesome. Yep. The key is to not have your body under stress and be hydrated. If you have diabetes, keep your numbers in check, sleep 8 hours, less side effects. I'm going to remember that for the next one. Thanks for the clarification because I couldn't write all of that. You're welcome, just Brett. They've done a lot of work. I audit COVID testing labs and labs that run COVID tests. They've done a lot of work, Lizzie says. That's awesome. And that's the thing. I mean, a lot of people I don't think realize just how much, because it happened so quick and everything. Because I mean, you look at stuff like the chickenpox vaccine, like that took like 15 years or something to develop. But there was no urgency for it really, or let alone funding. And isolating the virus, I read something about it, but it was much more difficult to do in a lab. And that was one of the things that held it up. So I think a lot of people are used to vaccines taking, years and years. So when this one didn't, I mean, not for nothing. When I first heard that they planned on having a vaccine out in like less than 2 years or whatever, even myself, was like, well, I'm going to want to make sure that all the proper steps are, but they were. So I hear this vaccine is having very few severe reactions. I haven't really heard any severe reactions. I haven't really been following much of the vaccine news though lately. So that just because I haven't heard about it doesn't mean that they're not happening. I've been hearing though a lot of like minor, reactions. Like I myself had them, but yeah. My sister works for a very well-known pharma company, and she works with the docs who conduct their trials. She's the one who signs off on the data and submits to the FDA. That's awesome. Oh my God. Your sister sounds cool as hell. So I can take both shots and burn them. That's awesome, Damas. No, it's not awesome that you're laid off. I'm sorry for that. Unless you're happy with it, then awesome. But it's great though that you'll be able to get the shots and just, sit back and let it happen. Bill Gates does not want to microchip us. Our phones already track and listen to everything we say. Yeah, exactly. I like how one of the arguments is because of this line that Bill Gates gave in a TED talk about something about lowering the population or something like that. He was explaining it by saying vaccines will prevent kids from dying from vaccine preventable diseases. Therefore, people will have less kids because their kids won't be dying. He's talking like in third world countries, whatever, developing countries. But the anti-vax crowd, though, will run with that and say, look, he wants to depopulate the earth. He wants to, kill off the population or whatever. That always cracks me up. Like, yeah, because every evil madman, before he goes on with his plans of world domination, first he reveals it all in a TED talk. My dad was one of the last polio cases in Alabama. Wow. What was it? Sharon. My friend's mom didn't know where she was for a few hours after, but my boyfriend's mom had no side effects. After what? After the COVID vaccine? Hey, you can't hear? Is that what you're saying? Can everyone else hear me? Good night, Pink Flamingo. I'm sorry. Yeah, I work on the weekends, so otherwise I would do these earlier for everyone. But thank you. I'm glad you showed you were here. Thank you. I hear you just fine. Okay. There's that one comment. Sharon, if you can, if you're still here or whatever, I'm curious if your comment was in reference to, what is it? Where is this? You said, my friend's mom didn't know where she was for a few hours, but my boyfriend's mom had no side effects. I'm just curious if you're talking about the COVID vaccine. Yes, COVID. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. I got to say, for like a day and a half or so, like my head was kind of weird. It could just be coincidence, don't get me wrong, but like I don't know, I felt like even like I was like almost like seeing like lights or whatever outside of my face and shit. Like I was at work and something, I thought I saw something coming up behind me. It made me jump like a mile. There's nothing there. I'm like, what the hell? But that went away. So I hear you just fine and dandy. Okay, cool. My mother was in the trial for TB treatment as she had TB as a young adult in Africa. Oh, wow. See, TB, that's something that's always scared the shit out of me. Oh, hey, you were muted. Okay, cool. I don't know if I had continue. Oh, well, Leanne, it wasn't a lot. I mean, I don't want to scare you or whatever. It's just, it was noticeable though. And it wasn't like, it wasn't something that caused me to freak out or whatever. It was just kind of noticeable. But I mean, I had no problem sleeping or whatever. And I feel like it's so long as you can sleep, it's all good. I had those hallucinations with chemo last year. Craziest thing ever. Okay, yeah. I remember reading about those. And my mom kind of went through that too. And now that I think about how like she described it and everything, that's kind of like how it felt. It's okay sometimes. Forget she mutes herself and has a long 5-minute convo with herself before she mutes. Yeah, I do. Yeah. My last live stream, I forgot to put myself in the stream. So I remembered to unmute myself and to turn the camera on and the microphone, but I just forgot to put myself in the screen. So my hubby got the Pfizer vaccine or COVID vaccine today. We had no problem. That's awesome. Yeah, I ended up getting the Moderna one. Yeah, exactly, Diane. I think that's great advice. Just try to do the second shot when you have a few days off. I might, after what I went through after this first one, I'm going to make sure that I have a couple days off. Covered in tattoos, but shots scared the life out of me. Yeah. I mean, eat the tattoos though. I mean, just that doesn't go like into your muscle, right? That's just, I don't know, on your skin, where vaccines go right into your muscle. That shit hurts. My mom did trials for the vaccine and got paid for it and will get paid for blood work and stuff. Oh, that's awesome. I tell you, the people who do these trials and these studies and who sign up and volunteer, whether they're paid or not, I mean, I think humankind kind of owes them a debt. It's a big needle. It is. It's a big needle. look over my spelling too. Keyboard is. Oh, that's good. Cool about your son, Maloney. He didn't have any side effects. It's great though. He was able to get the vaccine and everything. I mean, with his job, I mean, he was more at risk, I think, of getting COVID, I would think. So that's awesome. If you want to talk about seeing crazy things, I got a visual migraine a year ago and it was bizarre and annoying. Oh, wow. I can't imagine that. I mean, I've heard of like people with migraines and stuff, like seeing like, I don't know, like flashes of light or whatever, like when they close their eyes and stuff. I mean, I do know what like having visuals is like. Is I like mushrooms, but I don't think that's the same as what you see in a migraine. My mom had the beer flu. I'm guessing that means COVID. She's never gotten her taste or smell back. Oh my God. You know, I'm hoping that that's not permanent for people. I mean, I know for some so far it's not coming back, but I'm hoping that that's something that kind of reverses itself over time. Visual migraine, no headache, but a rainbow kaleidoscope and a spot in view, even with eyes closed. Yeah, I've heard like the flashes of light, but wow. But you don't get a headache with that? Like it's just a visual migraine? You don't get like the pain from the headache? I've had like one migraine in my entire life. I know nothing about them really. Their ocular migraines, the aura is much scarier than the headache. Oh, wow. Okay. I mean, I wasn't suggesting that it must be kind of cool since you don't get the pain or whatever. I mean, yeah, it's got to be freaky, but I don't get the pain anymore. Well, at least there's that. I don't know. I'm not sure if it's really a good trade-off. I mean, only you really know that. You can get stomach migraines too? I hope I never know what that's like. No pain, just a trippy visual for about 30 seconds. Huh. And I'm good so far. My name on the list in a health. Your 14-year-old, hey, and your 14-year, I didn't think it was approved for minors or for kids or whatever. I mean, they could have changed by now. I don't know, but Eileen D, me too. We should talk. I really do love them too. I mean, I don't care. I don't do anything else. So no smell lasted 6 months. Finally, slowly coming back. That's good. When I get them, I lose sight in one eye. Oh my God, and throw up. Oh yeah, that's horrible. Every once in a while, the minute I get the migraine, oh God. It's the worst when you're driving. I can't think of an activity or a time of day or night where that kind of wouldn't be the worst, but yeah, I guess driving would make it especially worse. I hope your car survived. Yeah, I can't imagine having migraines like regularly. Like the one I had, I was pregnant. And it was, oh my God, it was excruciating. And it took like 3 or 4 different medications before one finally worked. And oh, I went through hell. But luckily that was the only one I ever had. But I can't imagine having that headache once a month, once a year even. The more they slack off and become more open-minded, I would have never imagined them trying pot. It was epic win, in my opinion. That's cool. Yeah, I remember once, I think it was senior in high school or something, maybe, or just starting college. I was still living with my parents, and my mom was doing my laundry and a bag of weed in there. And my dad was kind of breaking my balls. I'm like, well, where is it? He goes, well, I had to try it out, make sure it was good, and now it's gone. I'm like, what? Get your own. I think he was just kidding, though. He liked to joke around about that, but he never really did shit like that often. She's never had a drink. Oh, wow. Yeah, my parents didn't really drink either. My dad a little bit, like when I was younger, and my mom like very seldomly when I was younger, but like from the moment I was like at least 10 years old on, it's like I don't very rarely. To a stone, he didn't realize my favorite thing to do when I was stoned was to talk to them. Like, oh, you've met the stone me many times. That's funny. Ex-Mormon. Wow. What that must have been, I don't want to say difficult really leaving the church, but it had to have been just nerve-wracking, I think is the word I would go with. I was always the black sheep. Yeah, my younger brother got away with murder by just saying Amber said it was a great idea. Your brother's pretty smart, though. I was the black sheep, too. My mom always told me I was, but she was kind of like the black sheep of her family. So I think she told me I was kind of like it's I don't know, something we had in common kind of thing. My dad loves to play bartender. Like my 20s boyfriend and I had planned living room. My mother used to come over and beg us to tell us where she could get a plant like that. We would just side-eye each other. One year, my mom was growing tomatoes, and she planted them on the side of the pool. And for some reason, they were growing like crazy there. We ended up with like, I don't even know, like 100 tomatoes or something up in the attic, just to where it's dark and cold and stuff. But she was bragging, she's happy with herself with how she was doing. I'm like, I got something if you really want to, put your green thumb to the test, I got something you can try to grow. And before I could say anything else, my father goes, Aaron, stop it. I was like, damn it. I got away with everything. I mean, I was a handful for sure. So most of the time, it really was my fault, if I'm honest. You weren't born a boy in my family. You weren't treated like, oh, that sucks. Wait, if you were not, that's a lot of negatives there. I'm guessing you're saying if you were not born a boy in my family, then you didn't matter. You weren't treated like you matter. Okay, that sucks. My parents couldn't do that because they just had myself and two sisters, so it was all girls basically. We would have been besties. I don't doubt that. KJ deleted tonight's Q&A live. Oh, of course she did. Did she just finish it? Because sometimes once the stream ends, it takes a few minutes for it to become available. Although it's kind of her MO to delete shit too, so. My dad said my tomato plants were the worst seed ever seen. They never had tomatoes, but they weren't tomato plants for real. Spray bottles and a UV light. Only plant I ever killed. Oh, God. I was a sibling that my mom would say, you don't want to be like that. Yeah, I feel like I was that cousin for like all my cousins. I grew on my own. I got 20 plants. See, I don't grow the plants. I'm just going to leave it at that. But that's cool, though. I don't know much about growing it, though. I mean, 20 plants. I mean, I don't even know how much that would come out to be, like, at harvest time. I lost my mom 7 years ago. She could always tell when I was lying to her. I miss my mom. Oh, I'm sorry, Angel. I lost mine in 2003. I miss her too. She could never tell when I was lying, though. Were you and your mom really close? YouTube videos and sister wives. Honestly, I don't think I've ever seen one sister wife show. Mom, I didn't know salty reply. I think I'm kind of lost in some of these comments. I don't know what's being talked about. About 19. Working in 5-inch heels on a concrete floor. My mom came to take me in every step of the high heels. We're crocheting in my... Oh, wow. That sucks. I don't know. I don't sell them, but I'm too scared to buy it off the streets. I have heard many a story about tainted weed. Yeah. I don't blame you there. I must have muted again. I feel like you and I kind of had the same issues with technology. Hey. It's like, my daughter's 31 and she knows so much about weed. It's like a science now. Yep. What strains help what? Yep. They sell it in grams now. I don't remember nickel bags, dime bags. I remember like we were like flush with money if we could afford a 20. I use CBD capsules. I tried those. I think they helped. Look, we're using text and talk to text. Okay. I was like, should I know what that means? But okay, now that makes sense. I'm sorry you lost your dad when you were young, just Brett. You can, I'm sure your mom loved every day with you. I know my mom did. No. No, for real though. I think she did. Oh, 20, that was like Dr. Kidman. Exactly, yep. Mm-hmm. My cousin is a scientist and his job is grow marijuana strains to help illnesses. You know, if I knew then that would be even a professional option for me in the future, I'm just saying. I never had good experiences with weed. I always end up walking outside my body. You know, Leanne, I never really liked it that much either. Like maybe I had like 3 periods of like 6 months out of my life, 3 times each, where I was doing it. But that's it. Other than that, I just never got in. I just haven't done it. I wish I did, because everyone who does it looks so happy all the time. I wish I could be like that. I'm probably not as a huge pain. I'm lucky I survived teenage years. You know, my daughter, when she was younger, she was on the more severe end of ADHD, and there were a lot of challenging days. There really were. And I know that they were there, the challenging days, but honestly, now that she's 17 and she's largely grown out of it and everything, I can't really remember much of them. I just know that they existed. I mean, just, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure you know as a parent, just days like that, you don't really, you know that they happen, but you don't really remember, I guess. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, good. Someone is live reacting to KJ deleted Q&A as we speak, so I can see the full train wreck later. Cool. Who's that someone? Because I know I'm going to want to see it later, too. Right, see that. Hmm. Damn it. Okay, not interested. That's not interested. Do you know what channel is doing the KJ Q&A? Joanne. Oh, okay. Oh, you know, I should have really thought of her, because she seems to have her hands on a lot of the videos that Katie deletes and that people can't find. She seems to have them like all the time. Oh. My 2 boys don't remember their dad. I lost my husband when my boys were 6 months and 3.5 years old. Oh my God, that's horrible. They were stuck with just me. I don't think that they see it that way, but I'm sorry to hear that. Yes, exactly, just Brett. I mean, back then when it was happening, oh yeah, I remember the days then, but I don't even know when I stopped remembering like those days. I just suddenly one day it was like, oh my God. But, and see, I don't know why weed isn't just legal everywhere. And same thing with mushrooms. I think they should be legal everywhere too. And well, all drugs I think should be decriminalized anyways. But yes, I think weed and mushrooms should be legal, like sold in like shops. Not interested. You don't remember the bad times with kids because it is probably some evolutionary protection, so you don't disappear. You know, I have 3 kids, and my youngest is 17, my oldest is 25. And there are some days where I look at all 3 of my kids and I'm like, I can't believe I got them all here to today, like alive. Like none of them were like seriously maimed or anything. It's holy shit. I agree. In my opinion, it's only illegal if you get caught. True. So. Okay. Whoa, Chris, that had been really, it was the worst. That sounds like it'd be cool though. Universal Studios during Halloween Horror Nights. All right, maybe not being chased with chainsaws. Lizzie, you can always like kind of make them yourself. It's what a lot of people do, I think. Oregon legalized shrooms. Did they like is it just medicinal though? Or is it like recreational too? Oh God, raves. I remember raves. Oh, I loved raves. People are talking about edibles. Do they help with nerves? Hey asks. See, me personally, I never liked weed in general, but I did get a different reaction, I think, through eating them. But just like a tiny bit. I do think that that would be a better way to calm your nerves using that than smoking it, but I don't know if it's like just that's how it is for everyone overall. I don't know. Mushrooms are being studied to treat depression and PTSD. Yep. It's about time too. I think DMT should be tested for that too. I live in the rainforest, can pick all year round. That's so awesome. You can see colors in it. Only legalized supervised use. Well, hey, that's a start. I mean, just think of how far we've come with marijuana over like the past 15, 20 years. Well, it would have been cool, except I've never done it. Yeah, I see that. Yeah, they're fair. They legalized mushrooms here. So cool. Edibles are excellent. I take low doses. Yeah, I would think, and I would suggest anyone take low doses. Aaron, I'm the same, not big and sweet, but the edibles are better for me. Yeah, exactly. And I always got like the paranoid feeling. I hated that. Freaking hated it. 1974 produced the best children. Well, okay. But I'm going to argue and say that 1975 produced the second best. Are you serious, Dominus? Your mom used to give you edibles as a teenager if I annoyed her too much? That's funny. See, most parents I knew just gave Benadryl. Yeah, exactly. That's I mean, these plants really, I don't even want to say drugs, but these plants, I mean, they really do offer a lot of benefits to people, to society. I lived in a duplex, and the people next door had the same exact floor plate as me, and I could not figure out where else I was. Yes, gave girls Benadryl all the time. Yeah, it would all the time. That sounds kind of bad, but once in a while, absolutely. But even that's what I'll take when I can't sleep. Just like the ZQL, which is basically Benadryl, but it works. It knocks my ass out. Today is my birthday. I can remember the Elvis concert from Hawaii in 1973. Happy birthday, Angel. You remember the concert in 1973. That's got to be so cool, though, having seen Elvis. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. She did. LOL, she admitted it in front of my grandmother. When she asked why I was so quiet, Mom said, "Oh, I laced some cookies with weed and gave them to him." Oh my God, that's hilarious. My grandmother is mortified. I bet. I mean, it's harmless, other than it might kind of make you freak out or something. But I mean, physically, it's not going to harm you. It's still funny. Over next sake, I can't see reviews talk to text. I think I know what you're trying to say, at least in the beginning there, Crystal. Over Ruck's sake. It's funny. One time at work, I took a NyQuil capsule instead of a DayQuil. That was a long. Oh yeah. Oh God, yeah. And one time I was having an allergic reaction to something, and I took some ZQuil, and I forget what it was. I had to do something. I think it was just like run errands or whatever. But I was like, oh God, it was such a long few hours. Hey, Cece. I thought Elvis was handsome. This was before he got too big. Sorry, I can't say that. He was actually supposed to play the city I lived in, or city I was born in, Utica, right before he died. Like everyone, it was like he was finally coming to Utica. People were finally going to see him, and then he died. My brother was stationed overseas in Kuwait. There were no drugs, so all of the airmen learned to do cough syrup. So when he came back from Kuwait, we did a damn trip. Yeah. Oh, I did. That's a disassociative. Those. Oh God, I can't stand those. I know a lot of people maybe like them or whatever, but I don't. Like the whole robo thing. Felt like I was very short and I couldn't say anything right. I was didn't sleep. Yeah, it's and I mean I never like tried to robo trip or whatever, but like I would when I've been sick and taken too much cold medicine or whatever. Like I would always feel like I was like kind of outside of my body. I hated it. Is March 23rd Aries? I have no idea. Because 30 is. Oh yeah, I think the star sign or whatever, I think it goes to like the 21st or the 22nd of the month, and then it switches over to the next one. I was a fucking idiot back then. But I mean, that's kind of like when we're supposed to be idiots, right? Like, could you imagine being that much of an idiot now? Like, I can't imagine that now in my 40s. So I do things like putting the milk in the cupboard and the cereal in the refrigerator. Yeah, I've done that. I forgot I made one thing and then made another. It's like, oh shit, I got all this food. Theraflu gives me out of body feelings. Yeah. You know, I have ketamine clinic. Oh God, that's crazy. I don't know. That was never my thing. I never understood that one. Oh God, I'm smoking now. I'm an idiot. Well, I mean, depends on what you're smoking. Yes, it's aired. Okay. Oh man. Super internet cut out. Oh, I am going to, I think, call it a night though, because I'm tired and I have to go to work again tomorrow. I got good God, no, if I was an idiot like that now, I'd be dead. Yeah. That's what I think too. I feel like my 20s was like the decade or whatever for trying everything. Then my 30s was like the decade for quitting everything. Yesterday I put in my contacts and forgot they were in and put in another pair of contacts. I couldn't see. All right. Well, good. I'm glad you guys liked the video and it played well, so I don't need to change or edit anything. So I'm going to go ahead and upload that. But thank you guys for showing up. Thank you guys for hanging out and talking with me. I always said I wouldn't really live stream on my channel, but I'm really liking it now. I don't know. All right, guys. Have a good night. Thank you. I'll see you all tomorrow.